what's up, you guys? It's Bree checking in.
What's up? It's T.
So, yeah, Bree and T
on the beat. Yes, girl. We finally made it. It's been a long day.
Listen, it has been a long day. I ain't gonna lie to you. Okay?
Yeah, it really is. How are you feeling today?
Girl, I'm feeling good.
Are you feeling good?
Yes, it's Women's Month. Like, hello.
Yes.
I got a month that's celebrating me.
So I gotta feel good.
I gotta feel good.
Girl, I'm not even mad at that. I'm not even mad at that. You know, I'm feeling good too. I'm feeling really good. This Houston weather though, has been throwing me off a little bit.
I really don't have time because yesterday it was cold.
Yeah.
Today it's 70 degrees outside. I just need you to make up your mind.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just let me know. If I know, I can be okay. Like, you know. And then the pollen, like my allergies are
all over the place.
All over the place.
I'm so glad I'm not really having that issue.
Can I have some of that? Whatever you got.
Girl, keep that over there. I don't want to trade. I'm sorry.
I'd be happy to trade because these allergies are killing me. They are. But yes, let's talk about Women's History Month. Like you said, I see you got the girls on your your tie-tie.
Girlism.
Girlism. I love that. I've never heard that before.
I had to wear this shirt just to represent.
Yeah.
Like, it's girlism. Like, what more can I say?
Yeah, like you said, we got a whole month to represent us.
I mean, we should have a month. Do you see how much we deal with?
Yeah, we deal with
We deal with way more than anybody else. Men.
Deal with a lot. You say anybody else? Men.
They don't understand.
What's the opposite? Yeah, for real. Like, we deal with a lot.
It's so much stuff that we deal with that they don't have to go through. Menstrual every month.
Yeah, these emotions, they be all over the place.
9 months of pregnancy.
Yeah, girl.
Then push the baby out.
I ain't had to have that yet.
I haven't had to have that yet.
I heard it's not easy.
But I'm just saying, we have a real life struggle. We have to take care of home.
Yeah.
And we have to make sure that we're doing our duties if you're working.
And that's a job in itself, holding down the house.
It's like a woman, like you come from a woman. So,
ooh, life.
Preach.
Yes.
Do you hear me?
Yes, so girl,
stop playing.
We silly. So let's talk about some people. Tell me, like, you know, it is Women's History Month. We'll probably do this every week, you know, we'll see. But we just wanted to share with you guys, like, share personal, like a woman that we admire, whether it's in history or present. So
me and T decided to come up with a woman that we were going to admire for the month, like just today for this segment. I couldn't pick one.
Okay.
So I decided to name a couple, Susan B. Anthony, Alice Paul, Elizabeth Cady, Lucy Stone, and Ida B. Wells. I don't know if you really know who those
you got some historic women on there,
honey. Hello, do you know what these women did for us?
Yeah, no,
these
definitely.
Women, they fought for our rights to vote. In 1920, the law was passed for women to have the rights to vote. So I decided to, take a moment to just kind of shine a little light on them, because if we didn't have people that was out there that's just kind of, that was the voice for us at the time, that was stepping up, just letting everybody know, like, women need rights too. Like,
absolutely.
It shouldn't just be the man that's taking charge. Like, women should have a say so.
Absolutely.
Okay,
absolutely. Our government should reflect the people who are being affected by it, and women are like a huge percent of the population. So
I mean, but you know what? It's crazy because women always tend to get the short end of the stick, and that's anywhere. Like, even when I was going to school and I was just learning things about how, in the business world, and when women, like, if a woman take the same position as a man, 9 times out of 10, she's being paid less.
Yeah.
Like, she's being paid less than the man, just because, first of all, we'll take it. Like, we'll just take whatever they, agree to pay us. Like, we'll take it. But men, on the other hand, like, they'll negotiate. And usually they'll negotiate with them, but it's some stuff that we just don't know, because we just want to be right along right,
We just want
to, so.
Yeah. And even when women do negotiate as well, it's like by law, a lot of times you're not
sometimes
really supposed
they don't even take you serious, though.
But also you're not supposed to share what you're making.
So
even
like
when they're negotiating, it's like, women are still making a certain percentage of less per every dollar that men are making. Like, regardless, they usually, I'm not saying everywhere, but it is like a known statistic that women typically make less for doing the same job.
And most of the time, we are a little bit more intelligent than that next person. But at the end of the day, that's, but I just wanted to shine a little light on them, just because
Girl, I think you got some great examples.
Girl, I don't know where we would be if we didn't have a right to vote, baby. I promise you, I would be one of the ones if we didn't have the rights. Like, I would be right here talking my little trash, trying to get us in there, okay?
Girl, okay, they be whispering into their man's ear. Now, this is what you need to vote. This is what you trying to... I bet that's what all the women was doing back there, working behind the scenes. Like, this is who you need to, you know what I mean? You know,
but you know what? At the end of the day, like, women, we're the ones that are making the big decisions.
Yeah, for
like,
sure.
If you really think about it, even though the men was always the ones who were, you know, bringing home the bacon, bringing home, you know, the money, they were giving it to the women.
Yeah.
And letting the women, you know, disperse.
The women were always taking care of
exactly. So
the caretaker. So.
What do you expect?
Yes.
Women rule the world.
Women rule the
Beyonce
world.
Beyonce said, "Who run the world, girls?"
Yes.
Exactly.
That basically summed that up. Okay.
So who is your?
Yeah. So for me, I actually wanted to talk about someone that I currently admire, just because I always talk about Amanda Seales. She's one of my favorite people, like just in general. First of all, I'm sure you guys are familiar with her. She just did her HBO special because she's a comedian. Her special was I Be Knowing. But first of all, she's so multifaceted. She does so many things. This girl has been a DJ.
She's a woman of all trades.
Yes, she's a jack of all trades. You know, she does comedy. She's an actress. She's on Insecure with Issa Rae. And the thing I love about her is that because I listen to her podcast. What is it? Amanda Seales. Dang, I can't think of the name of her podcast right now, but it's gonna come to me. But anyways, I love her podcast. I love that she's just very unapologetic. One of the things I admire about her most is that she actually like went to school for her passion, which is like African American studies. And even though
they begin to know that culture,
that's
really what it is.
That's
like,
what it is. Like studying her culture. That's her passion, and also hip hop. But it's funny because you look at all those things. Like her main things that she's known for right now, like she's currently doing, is being a comedian and being an actress. But basically, she uses those platforms. Even though you're like, okay, African American studies, like comedy or acting, that's totally different. But she uses her platform to still speak about the things that she's passionate about, you know, like
just kind of spread the word to everybody.
Yeah,
I feel like you know what, that's very creative.
It is,
because I don't even know. I feel like I know of one person who went to school for African American studies, and I think he's like a history teacher or something like that now.
That's what
so I don't ever see anybody. So I don't really see anybody who is actually out there and they're activists for our history out there and learn the culture and stuff. So I think that's really amazing that she's getting it out there through her comedy. And she's, you know, like what you said that she women can be funny.
Oh, the Smart, Funny, and Black. She did that. She went on tour for the Smart, Funny, and Black, and they even came in Houston last year. And that is a perfect example because it was like a way to mix comedy in, but also saying, yes, I'm Black. Yes, I'm also smart. I'm educated. And yes,
it's just like
I'm funny.
It can be all.
It can be all
of the above.
It can be all. There we go. And
I feel
small doses.
Yes, honey.
Thank you, Bria. Thank you. Shout out to our videographer.
Yes, small doses.
It's Small Doses with Amanda Seales. That's her podcast. Y'all need to check it out because the girl, she's just so unapologetically Black, unapologetically a woman. Like, you know, it's empowering.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, people might think a comedian, like, what is that really like? But she's still woke. You know what I mean? And she's still...
Baby, stay woke.
She mixes it. Yes,
stay woke, honey.
Yeah, stay woke, honey. Stay woke. And it's like she uses her platform to still... educate people and talk about the things she's passionate about. So that's who I wanted to shed light on. I
think that this
her.
is just very inspiring that we are starting our conversation, our segment out today with Women's History Month, because I think that women don't really get enough credit, you know? And baby, just know that we are appreciated, okay?
Yeah, no,
amongst each other. We don't even have to be from anybody else, but like we know that we're out here and we're doing. And it's just like, honestly, a lot of women, like, we're working 10 times harder than the next because it's like we have something to prove. Like, that's really what it is. Like, we really do have things to prove. Like, because people don't think that women can do certain things. And it's just like a woman can't do a man's job. Like, well, is it really a man's job?
Right.
Who said it was a man's job?
Right. Great
Hello.
point. Great point.
Y'all don't get me to preaching up in this. Don't get me to preaching in this studio today, okay?
Yes. It's powerful. But, things are changing even when we see the amount of women that are in our government right now, like, who are making decisions. We have women that are running for president. We have women, we taking over. We taking over.
It's a woman's world.
So it is cool.
It's
like you said,
that.
we have a whole month to celebrate us. So that's what we're going to do.
So since we are on the Women's Month, let's talk about Solange, honey.
Hey.
I don't really have a little ad lib, because that's what it is. I don't really have an ad lib.
I feel you.
But so I did listen to her album. I think I got like halfway, a little bit more than half. I think I got to like song 8. I think it's 10 or 12 songs.
Yeah, it's quite a few songs on there because it got interludes and stuff on there.
Yeah, it's like 10 to 12 songs on the album. And I did get a chance to listen to it while I was working out. But I like it. It's a vibe. Like this is what I told T earlier, y'all. I think that the album is most definitely a vibe. I had to listen to the songs a couple of times just because I just wasn't. I don't know. I don't think I was expecting that, and it was just like It was just it was one of those songs where you could be in the sauna and you're just trying to relax and it's like you're trying to get your mojo together or something.
Yeah, it's definitely a vibe.
It's really not one of those songs that you in the car, you trying to you trying to turn up to it. It's just like a wind down.
Yeah, I definitely understand what you mean. Like with it, it's a vibe. You do have to be in a type of mood, a type of feel. But I just think that the beautiful thing about her album is that the fact that it pays so much homage to Houston culture and to Texas culture, because it's a vibe, but it's a Texas vibe. And you know what I mean?
She's a creative.
She is a creative.
And she's been like that for a long time. So it's just like,
forever.
But you know what? It's not even that I would expect that. I don't think I would expect her to be on the song just sitting there doing like her sister would do. Going into deep. I like she's just that. That's the vibe that she gives. Like she gives that. What is it? She gives that hippie vibe to me.
Okay.
Like when I see her, like she's very laid back. She's very chill.
Yeah, it is more of a laid back chill.
I could she's not really out there. So when I listened to the album, it was her. Like I can't.
It's very authentic.
It's very
authentic.
Her. So I don't feel like it was forced at all.
No, it's very authentic, and it's like when you just sit down and listen to it, it's like. The more I listen to it, the more things I can. Okay, so obviously we know it's called When I Get Home. Yeah. So it's about home, Houston or Texas, But even just the people that the snippets she has in there.
It's deep.
Yeah.
You have to really sit down and listen to the song, because when I was I don't think me working out was the right.
That might have been the right time.
It wasn't the right time for me to do it, because I literally was like working out and I was listening to a song and it was like I was waiting for more. And I don't think that's
you needed a different type of
No, it was just like I was open to it. Like I just wanted to see what her album was about, but it was just like that scene that I was in, that wasn't the scene for the song. Like when you're listening to that song, you want to be at home. That's what she's singing about. Like she's singing about at home, but when she say home, she's talking about Houston. Yeah. But just being at home and just chilling and just in that, in that space.
Absolutely. And I will say that you brought that up, being at home. For me, it's like being from Houston. When I listen to it, that's exactly what it makes me think about. Like the songs on her album are named after streets in Houston. Like you're thinking about driving down these streets. It's referencing places like, we going up to Papados. We, people who are familiar with Frenchies. We doing that type of stuff. You know what I mean? She's even the cadence and the way that she's flowing throughout the album, and paying homage to DJ Screw throughout, and people who are even keeping that legacy.
Basically, like she's representing, like, and she's letting everybody know, like, this is where I'm from.
This is where I'm from. This is my culture.
This is where I'm representing. This is the people that I grew up to.
Yes.
So,
and even the people like on our own, like OG Ron C and the Chop Stars, they're keeping that legacy going. People like that keeping that legacy going, and she's paying homage to all of that, all of our culture. So it just makes me think about, like, it makes me think about growing up in Houston. Like when you see the visual,
I just think it was beautiful. Like this is the best time. Like it's Women's Month. Yes. You just dropped this album, and you know we're in H-Town, and she representing. That's what it is.
Yes, and one other last thing I want to say about her that I loved is in the visual that she put out. So creative. I love that. I saw a post that Miss Tina Knowles.
Yes, ma'am.
She put out a clip on her Instagram, and she was just talking about how, because when you watch the visual, it's like all the cowboys and horseback riders are black men, black people, and in American culture, you don't always see that represented. Like you're used to seeing white cowboys, and you don't usually see black people. But being from Texas, it ain't really nothing to see a black man ride on a horse. You know what I mean?
The fact that she just kind of put that in there, yes. it speaks volumes.
Yeah,
basically.
It speaks volumes. So much appreciated.
Yes.
I just feel like an album for the culture is dope, having something like that. So.
But y'all, we're going to get into this Kanye.
Oh, easy.
Girl, listen, Kanye always, I think he's like, I don't want to say an open book because we don't ever know what his next move is.
That's true.
But it's like he's an open silent book. Can that be a thing?
I think you just made it a thing.
He's an open silent book because he's open to what he want everybody to know, but he's silent because we don't never know his next move.
Yeah. And then it's like when he wants to make a statement, he'll get on social media, but then when he's tired of it, he'll delete it. Like, okay, I can't take it. But then he just wants to pop back in.
And it's like I'm starting to wonder. Like I know he has to have, of course, a mental condition.
Oh yeah.
Like he has something going on up there. Like some of the screws are loose, but
he's admitted though. He's
admitted that. That's expected. Like when you're in this fame, like you lost your mind, like you have all this stuff going on, you so much success, and so many people judging you on what you do, and you're a free spirit. So I get it. Like.
He's a creative. He's a genius almost to the extent where he's a little crazy. But what genius isn't?
I mean, is he a psychopath?
I don't know if he's a psychopath, but I mean, I know he suffers. I know he has admitted before that he suffers from bipolar and all of that stuff. But lately, the image that we're seeing of him has been pretty positive.
It's just a lot of mixed emotions.
Yeah.
And honestly, I've never really looked at Kanye in a bad light. I just kind of looked at him as confused, especially when he was just like slavery was a choice.
Oh, I'm glad you brought that up.
And I feel like a lot of people, and even now, like right now, he has a lot. Even though he's doing something, like he has just came back since, I haven't seen him since like his interview with TMZ, and he walked off, and then he had his little sit up outside.
I forgot he did that whole video.
Yeah, girl,
I forgot he did that video outside of TMZ. That was so funny.
But you know what's crazy? Like that was already ready. It's like he
girl, that was so
girl, he prepared for it. Like they was
out there. And it was already a crazy interview. And then they're like, now we shooting a video.
But you know what? I mean, that just goes to show, like, is this a publicity stunt?
I mean, I think to some extent, some of it is.
I think about.
But let's just say he's a crazy genius. Like, I don't know. He's genius? Crazy.
I mean, really, is he a genius? Because I guess he don't care what anybody else has to say because
he does not.
It's just too much. I don't even know.
It's a lot, but we've been seeing a lot of these videos recently of him and his whole like choir.
But it's like the old Kanye is back.
Yes,
that's what I'm starting to see. Is like the Jesus. He brought back one of his classics. Jesus.
Yes.
Walks. I was just like, okay.
He's giving us that soulful, like
and then he brought Charlie Wilson out.
Yes. Girl, Charlie Wilson was killing it. Yes. And so he did the show at the Adidas headquarters. We saw the snippet of him. It was the choir singing on the jet. They was feeling the Holy Ghost on the plane. But it is good to see that version of Kanye because, like you said, it's like different versions.
You just never know what you're gonna get.
You never know what you're gonna get.
So I mean, do you feel like this? I know that I feel like everything he does is for a reason. So I'm just like, okay, so I get it. So what is your reason for this?
Yeah, well, we know his album. He already said he was like going to Africa to get inspired for this album. And so I think that's another reason why he's putting all of this soul, all of this feel good into his. It's kind of like maybe that's going to be the sound of this next album that we
honestly,
have coming.
I'm just happy that it's in a positive light this time.
Me too.
Like this time, I don't know if the last time he was trying to put his, but he pushed it back. Like his album was supposed to come out, and then he pushed it back when everything was going on.
Yeah.
But I just think that it was kind of in a bad light, so I don't know if that's why he pushed it back. But now it's just like it's in
he had been sporting that red hat, and he was doing his outbursts.
We not having it. Like, you're not about to tell us that slavery was a choice, okay?
Yeah.
That we was out here, they was out there, my ancestors was out there picking his cotton.
And they worked too hard for that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, but I'm just hoping that, this time that it seems like it's for the right reason. And he's out here, he's trying to get back to himself.
I really appreciate the musical genius Kanye. Like, I see, we see over this past year, he was speaking out a lot on politics. Mm-hmm. Even Kim Kardashian, we see her getting people out of jail, doing her things, trying to do more things with that. But I really like the Kanye that focuses on his creativity and focuses on putting out the art, because that's his gift for the world. Mm-hmm. Like, that's what put it in there. You know what I mean? So I think getting in touch with that, I think him staying off of social media is probably a positive thing.
But the fact that
just put it in that.
The fact that you brought up Kim Kardashian, I like that you was like, she's doing her own thing because she gets so much backlash. Mm-hmm. And everybody talk about, it's the Kardashian curse and it's this and it's that. But I just kind of, personally, I just kind of feel like she's just, I don't see her in that light. I don't see her as the person that's over there that's kind of pushing for him to go for this. So, she supports him 100%. Mm-hmm. But she, like she said, she don't agree with some of the things that she does. So I don't feel like she has any influence on any of his decisions. That's him by himself. He's a free thinker. He's a free spirit.
Oh, yeah, he's made that clear. Yeah. Free thought.
So it's just I think that she's out here, even besides all the nudity and the pictures and stuff that she posts, I feel like her intentions are good because she do bring good to the community. Mm-hmm. That's just...
I guess. Okay, we have mixed emotions on the Kardashians, so we ain't even going to get into all that.
We have mixed emotions. That is for another show.
A whole nother episode.
Because, we was in here having a deep conversation, so we're going to most definitely bring that up in another conversation. But I just want to put that out there that I feel like her intentions are not, from my perspective, I just don't think they're bad.
Yeah.
But, everybody's entitled to their own opinion and what they do and how they see and view things. But at the end of the day, we just hope that we got the old Kanye back.
Yeah, we hope that we got the old Kanye back. So, but I am glad that you brought up him saying slavery is a choice. Mm-hmm. Because, me, I feel like everything kind of happens for a reason, and things always come back around. Just the way I personally feel about karma and how things coming back around. Because right now he is suing his publisher, for trying to get out of his contract, because basically the agreement with his contract is that he can't retire, he can't stop making music, and they own all of this portion of his of everything that he puts out. But it's and that's why I say it's I want to hear the music side of Kanye, put the creativity in that, because it's you say something like slavery is a choice, but then you sign this contract where it's legally you're bound to this contract. Binding. You signed your freedom to this contract. So that sounds like a choice. You know what I mean? It's it's just funny how things come back around.
And baby, he's getting a lot of controversy.
Oh, yeah. He's getting a lot of flack.
And people just... a lot of backlash. So
yeah,
but it's I don't want to play on the mental health, but I think that becomes a factor too. So when you're not in the right state of mind, then you start to talk out of context. You know what I'm saying? So you start to speak about...
And nowadays, you can't take nothing back. You say it, especially being somebody like Kanye, you put it out there.
But, we got the internet.
Exactly.
The internet, you record... literally, once it goes over the air, once it goes online, it's over.
It's a wrap, and people will come so hard for you. But... it's just crazy, man. It's just so mind-boggling to me to see him fighting and going through these legal issues and trying to get out of this contract. But even for him, maybe that's why he had to take a moment to step away from social media. I know y'all said Kim Kardashian will post on her stuff of him and everything, but his social is down, at least on Instagram and stuff, And so I don't know. It's just crazy. That's the Kanye.
Learned?
Hopefully, that's what hopefully he sees it as like, okay, maybe I should think a little bit before I speak. Because I will say in like the hip hop community, a lot of people, if we look at historically, like, have looked up to Kanye as almost like, okay, the leader of the hip hop. You know what I mean?
What? Back in the day, though, like, I'm not gonna lie, like, his music was very, very inspirational.
Yeah, not that long ago. Like, it's so conflicting because the music he puts out is like, it speaks to the culture, but like, then you're out representing a different persona. So hopefully we got the old Kanye back.
Just like I said, when you're going through stuff mentally and people are not seeing it, like, first of all, your life is publicized to the world. Yeah, so it's just like when you're trying to deal with stuff in your own private home, you really can't because everybody is watching you. So it's like I can see a side to where he's just not able to focus on him because there's so many people on the outside judging him and so many people on the outside watching him. So much judgment. And it's just his outburst, I feel like it was really like a cry for help. That's just really what it seemed like. And I know that he was going through some stuff, and he said that he was going through some mental stuff. And you can't really blame that because in this world, like, that's a common thing. That is like mental health is something that is very serious, and a lot of people do not speak about it. Yeah, and a lot of celebrities, we're starting to, but it's like you're seeing it play out in crazy ways like this for it to be conversation, the topic of conversation. A lot of African Americans deal with it, but they just suffer in silence. Yeah. That's just really because historically it's like that's not what therapy. Oh, you're depressed. But you know, you're right. Anxiety. Like, we don't believe in it. Like, you know, it's like nobody ever taught us, oh, it's okay to go speak to somebody. Yeah. Or it's okay to talk about your problem. Your emotions. But you know, it's because we've always been put in this place to where we're just so strong. You're so strong and you can't. No, you're not supposed to. You know, you feel like you have to be the head of the household. You have to be this person. Especially as a black woman. Like, you hear that a lot. Like, a black woman, you have to, like we were said earlier, you got to hold down so many things. You got to take care of so much. It's always that you have to be strong. Yep. But you have to realize a part of being strong is a part of being vulnerable, a part of, you know, acknowledging your mental side and all of those things. But you know what? One thing I can say that I appreciate in 2019, I've been seeing so many more people that saying self-care is important. Mental health is important. You know, just kind of taking care of yourself is very important because a lot of the times we don't think about self. We think about everybody else and we think about what's going on around us. You drive yourself crazy. What? You don't, you know, like we understand, we know. We're going to do a whole episode on mental health. No, that's what we're going to do. We said, this is a whole topic in itself, really too. Is, and we want to bring in somebody who has experienced that. Yeah. And somebody who is very knowledgeable about that because, you know, we know on the outside and we know being in that culture how it is. And we know that we have to be strong. So we don't want to go and talk to somebody. We know that it in our culture is really not that normal, you know. Like it's not. It's starting to kind of become normal, but it's not common. It's not either one. Like I think now people are starting to speak more on it, and it's like okay, maybe I should think about these things. But like we were saying, historically, I don't think it was been very normal or like, you know, it's almost looked at like how they always say about black men, like yeah, like you don't cry, you don't share your emotions, but you know, it's a lot of strength in that. There's a lot of strength in that, too. And that's why I have such a soft spot for Kanye. Because it's like I do understand him just being like, you know, oh, I want to have free thought. I want to express myself. I just want to let it come as it flows. But you also have to remember, like, the reality you're living in. And especially when you having such a powerful platform, the messages that you're putting out. Because it's young people listening. It's the older generation. It's Everybody wants to know like what you have to say. Yes, everybody's looking to you. He's very inspirational in the African American community, and a lot of these artists are looking at you like, okay, player, like what's going on? Because we want to support you. Like you're making it hard. Yeah, but we gotta know what's going on with you. Like we need you to let us know. And then it's some of them that's just like, okay, we don't stand behind you. We don't. But at the end of the day, like, people deal with things in their own way. Right. Clearly, we could tell he was off his marbles, but hopefully he's back on to some good stuff. So we're waiting to hear this new album.
We are.
I'm super excited just to see what he's getting ready to put out. Like everything that we've been seeing, like we said, is very positive.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm really looking forward to seeing it.
Very soulful. It's very like you know.
Even he sung one of his old songs.
Yes, yes, yes.
Jesus walk.
Yes,
I can't
it's like worshiping almost. It's like makes you think of the church, you know, and in the Black culture, that's something that it resonates with people too. Even if you didn't grow up in the church, that music still resonates with your soul.
Yep.
So definitely, I'm hoping that this is a sign that we're gonna get a good version of Kanye back.
All right, well, we just gonna have to stay tuned and see what Kanye is cooking in the pocket has up next for us. So
yeah, we're gonna see.
We're super excited. Whenever he drops that album, we will be back with more information and just kind of giving our output and our outlook on what we think about, you know, the old/new Kanye.
Yeah,
you know? So,
for sure. And even with this case, it's going to be a minute. We're going to see how everything plays out with him trying to get out of his publishing contract.
Yep.
But, you know, like with that, it's going to take time. So we'll see.
Okay, we're going to talk about Lord Jesus.
I know. I'm sorry. I can't even make a straight face.
He's not about to stress me out, okay? I'm sick. We talked about him one time before, but we're going to talk about him once more.
Roberts.
Do you have a last name?
Roberts?
Jenkins?
Is it?
No. I just made that up.
It flows, though, Robert Jenkins.
Robert Jenkins, it really does.
Girl, this has been an eventful week for Robert
Kelly, girl.
Kelly.
Hello.
Duh! Oh, my God.
Listen,
y'all, the fact that she just looked that up.
First of all, no, wait a minute. First of all, I didn't even look it up. But I knew that, and you was just like, is it Jenkins?
I was playing with you, Bree.
You was not playing. You was dead serious, just like I was.
Bree, I know you.
Okay, listen, we both was...
R. Kelly.
First of
what if his real last name isn't even Kelly, though?
We both was serious about, because I just made it up and I said Jenkins. But she was like, is it Jenkins? And I was like, shoot, I don't know. And then I said, this man's name is R. Kelly. Robert Kelly. Hello. It's been a long day, y'all.
It's been a long day, but guess what? It's been an even longer week for R. Kelly.
Roberts, you mean?
Robert.
Okay, but you know what? This is it. I'm sick of him.
Did you see him with Gail?
Girl,
he was crying his heart out.
But then but my thing is like that's another. It's not. It's a certain word for it. It's not psychopath. It's something else because the fact that he could turn it on and turn it off, it's like he crying 1 minute in. He snapped out of it. He was so serious. I'm sick. Y'all killing me.
Is this the camera? You saw him. He was like, is this the camera?
And I'm just like, first of all, sir. First of all, like, which one is it? Are you crying? You hurt? Or are you serious?
You ready to fight? Because he was standing over Gail. Like, I don't know how Gail was so calm. She was looking up there like, Robert.
But you know what? I think that comes from professionalism and somebody who has been in the game for a long time, because I probably would be like, bruh, sit down.
I would have felt so uncomfortable. First of all, you standing over me, like, and you're shouting. That's like what's about to pop off? You're cautious. She was, honey, Gail was not worried. She was like,
well, you know, in all of her interviews, she has the same posture. She keeps the same composure. And I'm just like, when you got this, like you said, this man is sitting here screaming at you. So how are you keeping how can you keep a straight face?
Girl, I don't know, but all these memes I've been seeing after this R. Kelly interview.
Listen, I can't take nobody serious because this is a serious situation and people turning it into a joke. Let the internet turn it into a joke.
They said we recycling.
Leave it up to Instagram.
They said we recycling the Michael Jordan, the meme of him crying. Now it's R. Kelly. It's so crazy though, because it's like, okay, I'm gonna be for real. Like, on one hand, it's like, dang, this is funny. Like, it's just funny with all the memes, and you know, in our culture, we just kind of make light of a lot of things. But it's also very sad just to see this man, like, even though I'm not condoning none of the stuff he did, just seeing a black man on television like that, like, dang, it's really sad. Like,
I mean, but this has been going on for a long time, so it's honestly, at this point in my life, it's like I can't be sad for him anymore. I can't feel sorry for him anymore because nobody's going to continue to make the same allegations over and over and over again for this one person. And it's not just, okay, I get it if it's one or two people. Sometimes when you out here, you got a little fame, people out here trying to get this money. That's what it is. Like, people trying to get this money. So one, two people, but when it's 4, 5, 6, and people just keep popping up as different people, same story.
Oh, yeah. No, they all saying the same thing.
Same thing, but it's just switching up the timeline and it's switching up the location. So, and it's certain things that they're saying and that you're saying, hinting at, and it's just like...
Girl, first of all, he was giving himself away in the interview.
Hello.
You remember when he was like, and what would I look like not letting nobody out the house? Unless they want to go get some sneakers from their uncle. Like, hold on, Robert. Hold on, Robert.
We was looking like, wait, what? Like,
we didn't even know. We didn't even know about those details. What? Girl.
But the fact that, but you know what? The parents from the young lady, Jocelyn. And you know, it's so crazy because few months ago, years ago, they did the little, they did the documentary of him, and then, but before then, they put out the young lady about Jocelyn and how she had been gone for a long time.
It was another, wait, what?
The girl that was the girl that we seen on
TMZ.
TMZ. No.
I know who Jocelyn is. One of his girlfriends. One of his
girlfriends. She's been with him for years.
Yeah,
years. But in the documentary, one of her parents had said something about it.
Oh,
and of course,
okay.
They did the interview of how they was trying to find her for a long time and just see where he had taken her and all of this extra stuff. But the fact that I seen her, like, on live TV, and, your parents was talking about you, and they were looking for you for a long time. Like, it's just crazy to me, the fact that you're sitting there saying, oh, well, my parents, they want the money. Just like the Alexa girl.
They threw their parents. They just did an interview with Gail, and they threw their parents under the bus.
Because she did like you said, she did the TMZ interview.
But no, even she just did it. After Gail interviewed R. Kelly, he interviewed Jocelyn.
Well, it was her and
the
other one,
the other girl.
Before she did the TMZ interview,
right?
Her parents had came out and was like, we haven't spoken to her. We feel like she's been taken against her will, and then all of a sudden,
she's like, I'm good. I'm taking care.
She has a video that comes out and she was like talking to TMZ, I'm good, but you can see somebody in the back.
I saw that.
Yeah, you can see somebody in the back saying, okay, basically
like coaching
cut.
her.
Like cut, like go to tell them it's over.
And they even look like they're brainwashed. Like, every time you see Jocelyn, that other girl in the interview, she was like getting real emotional. But Jocelyn, every time you see her,
she was so serious. She
just seems like she's been coached on what to say. Like, oh yes, R. Kelly, he's taking care of us.
I don't think she's really like the talker. She's more so like the follower, because if you can see, the other young lady was the one who
passionate.
She led the conversation. She was talking about everything, and Jocelyn was just there like, she was like the yes puppet, because she said yes to everything. Yep.
But that gives you an idea of the type of women that he targets. First of all, they're vulnerable. 21 and 23. I think, like, okay, and it's easier to manipulate. Like, she literally looks like, yes, okay, yes, no, I remember, this is what I'm supposed to say. Like, I don't know, it's just very sad. It's a lot.
But even though the lady who was interviewing, she was talking about how R. Kelly, he wasn't in the room, but he was like right there by the room. And so he would basically like insinuate, make little gestures to let them know that he was still there. Like, he would cough.
During this recent interview.
He would cough and do little things to let them know.
He made it known that he was in there.
Still there, like he was listening,
and he was not even supposed to be there though. But girl, it's like we said, this has been an eventful week for him.
He was trying to shut it down.
He was trying to shut it down, but at this point it's too late. They already got him back in jail. They told, when he got released the first time, basically I think at this point they're trying to find any way to keep him in jail. And, until he's back on trial, like, everything comes to a conclusion. But even to me, when he's like, I'm trying, this is about, they trying to ruin my life. I'm trying to have a relationship with my kids.
It's too late.
Hold on.
It's too late. Like, how old are your kids?
You owe over $160,000 in child support. Don't blame
but how old are your kids, though? Like, how long has it been, and you're just now? I mean, that's
exactly
because we don't know the inside of it. But how long has it been since you've been trying to have a relationship with your kids? Like, I'm pretty sure your kids are good and grown.
Yes, like
good
where was
grown,
that energy way before this? You got multiple girlfriends out here trying to defend you. You taking care of these multiple girlfriends. How did you?
But you know what, him
gain all this money and child support? Like,
but you know when him and his wife divorced, she said he cut her off.
Oh yeah,
he wasn't giving her no money. He wasn't taking care of the kids.
She was struggling.
He wasn't doing anything for her. Yeah. So it's like all of that, baby. It just backlashed on you. Like it back. Like what do you expect? Yeah. What exactly do you expect? But I think the sad thing to me is that they're dragging all of these legends, these iconic men in the black community. Like for real, in the black community, they're dragging them down. Like Michael Jackson. That's a great example. Now they're trying to dig up stuff from his past. Listen, that man has been dead for almost 10 years.
Literally, it's been in
June it will make 10 years. In 10 years, it will make
a whole decade.
10 years in June it will be 10 years, and it's y'all speaking for a man that is deceased. He cannot speak on any of these allegations that you guys have going on. Now you're talking about you're not going to play his music.
And they went through it when he was alive already.
Yeah, so it's like, but why won't you just leave that where it's at? Like, it's people that's alive, I get it. You know what I'm saying?
But the thing is, there's plenty of people alive in Hollywood. Like we all in the news, this whole thing came up with Harvey Weinstein. I'm sorry, you have actresses, all of these like huge women, like saying this happened to me, this happened to me, this happened to me. Where is that energy?
I feel like it's the money, but like T.I. said, if we're gonna talk about that, let's talk about everybody else. Let's talk about Elvis Presley. Let's talk about Hugh Hefner.
Everybody in the past.
Yeah, let's talk. If you're gonna bring up people that's deceased, let's talk about Let's bring up Hugh Hefner. Let's bring up Elvis Presley. Let's bring up Beatles. All these people that was out here and that was doing the same thing, but it's not in the African American culture. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, man.
Let's really talk about it. If
it's
you really
so
want to talk about
disheartening, all of this stuff with Michael Jackson, because it's like, in our community, we look at Michael as like,
he a legend.
He is a legend, and not even just in our community, across the board.
Yep.
But it is very sad, and it's also very conflicting for me, because I love Oprah, and to see her, like, she said, she was like, I'm gonna get a lot of backlash for this, but it's like, you're interviewing these guys, they're coming out all these years later. Like, where was that energy when it was supposedly going on? Yep. I know they were younger, but like, why wait 10 years until after he's
that's
gone?
What I'm saying. Like, why are you talking about it? Like,
years.
My thing, what is it gonna solve? Like, what is it gonna do? Like, he can't speak for himself. His family can't talk on it because they're not him. Yeah, they can defend him, but they're not him.
But you know what's crazy? And one thing that I think about, when I think about the situation with R. Kelly, when I think about the situation with Bill Cosby, because that's another example of somebody's legacy who's, even though he did that stuff, but it's like, you listen to the people who are close to them during those times, and what are they saying? A lot of people who, with R. Kelly, it's like they're coming back and they have admitted, like, yeah, we saw him hanging around the high school. We saw him.
But first of all, something should have been said when R. Kelly was messing with Aaliyah. Aaliyah was a kid.
Exactly.
She was a kid.
Exactly.
And he got married to her
illegally. And enough people weren't doing stuff about it. He got married
to her illegally. Come on now. Like, if you need any proof, there's the proof right there.
Yeah, no, the proof is there. The proof is there. But when you look at the people who are close to Michael Jackson, and this is outside of his family, they don't say stuff about him. They like, this man was a different type of soul. He connected with children because of his past. And you know what? It's a totally different type of energy. Like, the people that knew him and came up with him during that time, they're like, he wasn't even capable of that.
Right.
So I always pay attention to what the people who were close to them was saying, because it's like, yeah, you have these people that are obviously, getting a check, like these young men. It's like, they're getting paid off of this. But think about the people who were actually living with him, had a relationship with them at the time. Like, it's almost like, I don't know. I feel like that speaks a lot. That speaks volumes. Yep. I haven't watched the Michael Jackson, all of the whole thing on HBO with Oprah. I don't know if I'm going to.
I'm not going to watch it, because I just feel like, first of all, like, I just don't want to see that side of him. Like, I know what I remember of him, and I don't want to see anything different. And I don't feel like anything is going to change my mind, but, like, let that man rest in peace. Like, that's what it is. Let him rest in peace.
And that's the thing. It's like, okay, at least these other people are living. They have a chance to tell their truth. And it's like, with the whole Michael Jackson thing, we're digging up something where it's like, okay, I'm not ever going to condone something like that, but it's like there's so many men in Hollywood who are out there, they're free, they're
you
still...
rather talk about somebody who is no longer on this earth, that cannot defend themselves or anything. So I just don't.
It's sad, man. It's sad. And when you look at the pattern, like, you know, we talked about it, it's like it makes it very hard because you can't condone sexual abuse. You can't, you know, it makes it very difficult in this type of position. But it's like, okay, Bill Cosby, huge prominent figure in the black community. R. Kelly, you know, they love R. Kelly. Now Michael Jackson, it's like, why are we seeing a pattern of targeting a certain, like, targeting these black legacies?
It's this demographic. That's what it is.
Yeah. They're targeting that, but...
You know, I feel like this conversation can really go on and on and on and on.
It just hurts my heart.
Yeah, I know she extra. But
I am, but it's like,
too,
damn, MJ.
You know what? Listen, his legacy is always going to live on. Like, I'm not going to ever take away what he was from a child to growing up until, you know, he was where he was when he passed away.
Yeah.
So I just, you know, I think that this is a great person, and R. Kelly, that's just a different type of sick person. Like, let's just not bring let's not dig up other legacies that.
Right, just because of this stuff that's going on with R. Kelly, and just because, girl, R. Kelly.
Girl, the sad case. That's what it is.
Yeah,
R. Kelly is a sad case. So we just gonna end it right there.
These memes are gonna live on forever with the whole R. Kelly thing. So
they not gonna ever let this man live. But I don't know. It is what it is. Like, we just gonna let the courts decide.
We're just gonna.
Hopefully this time they will take him out. They just lock him away and throw away the dang on key and get those poor babies, the 2 young ladies, some help, because they're clearly going through some stuff. They've been brainwashed.
Girl was ready to pop off on Gail.
Yeah, no, I know. She said, I'm not even going to go into what
she was ready to go on.
She was like, do you talk about your sexual business outside of, you know, your relationship outside
Because I'm sure you don't.
She was like, no, I don't. Okay, then, so don't ask me. Okay,
baby, Gail is on a whole nother level of emotional intelligence. Because, baby, I would have been taken aback like, well, hold on. We're not in the same situation, boo.
Let me take my earrings off, because this little girl not about to sit here and play with me like I'm a child.
This child.
She's not about to sit here and play with me like I'm a kid.
Girl, she was up there. Look, Gail. Look, she was ready to pop off on Gail. Who scared of R. Kelly? I'm worried about old girl. Old girl was ready to go. Oh, she was like, Gail. Look, Gail. Girl.
Listen, we gonna come back to you guys, and we just let you guys know what happened, what's the end result. R. Kelly is in jail right now. Hopefully he stays there. People say he is innocent until proven guilty. In my book, he's guilty because it's too much evidence.
It's too much evidence.
There's too much stuff on the table pointing the finger at him, saying that he's doing this. So I'm just a firm believer that he's guilty.
Me too.
Anywho, this is the end of our episode, guys. Make sure that you guys check us out next week. Make sure you guys subscribe, comment, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Brilliant Tea on the Beat, and we are out.